I melted into the kiss, losing myself in its heat, its wrongness, its electric thrill. He pulled back, eyes blazing. "Still think I'm just a kid calling you Auntie?" He called me Auntie with a low chuckle, like it was our secret, a prelude to the moment he'd shatter every boundary I thought was sacred. I had watched him grow, my best friend's son, never imagining the boy I'd known would one day look at me with a hunger that would unravel everything. Welcome to Hidden Love Stories. Today, we explore a story that twists a cherished familial role into a landscape of forbidden desire and shocking transgression. When trust is betrayed and innocence lost, what remains? If you're drawn to narratives that expose the unsettling truths of human connection, please consider subscribing and liking this video. It allows us to continue sharing these raw, unfiltered accounts. The story you're about to hear is deeply challenging. Please listen with an open yet discerning mind. I never imagined my life would take such a turn. I was always the dependable one, Eleanor, the sensible, nurturing woman who kept her emotions tightly in check, the one people leaned on. For years, I carried the title of Auntie with pride. To my best friend's son, Liam, I was the second mother, the confidant. I watched him grow from a shy little boy into a confident young man, and never, not once, did I think I'd be anything more. But time has a cruel way of distorting roles. When Liam returned from college for the summer, I barely recognized him. His shoulders had broadened, his voice deepened, and the way he looked at me, it wasn't the look of a boy seeing his mother's best friend. It was something else, something hungry. I told myself I was imagining it, projecting some unmet need. But then there were the little things, the lingering stares, the way his touch would graze just a little too long, that low chuckle when he called me Auntie like it was an inside joke. It was during a weekend trip to my lakehouse that things finally tipped. I'd invited his mother, but she canceled last minute. Liam insisted on coming anyway, saying he could help around the property. I had no reason to decline. I trusted him, or maybe I trusted myself too much. The first night, we sat on the deck drinking wine, talking about his dreams, his frustrations. The moon hung low, and his eyes never left mine. "I always felt like you understood me better than anyone," he said, his voice low, fingers brushing mine as he took the glass. "You're not just my mom's best friend, you know." I laughed nervously. "Well, I've known you since you were in diapers. Guess that makes me a pretty biased supporter." He leaned closer, his breath warm. "But you've always seen me, haven't you?" Even now, something cracked inside me. Maybe it was the wine, the loneliness, or the way he said, "seen me," like he was begging to be acknowledged as more than just a kid. I pulled away, pretending to check the time, heart pounding. "We should get some sleep," I mumbled, but sleep didn't come easily. I tossed and turned, replaying every glance, every word. The next morning, I tried to pretend everything was normal. Breakfast, light yard work, small talk, but the air between us was thick, charged. Every time I looked at him, I saw the man he'd become and the dangerous line I was teetering on. That afternoon, folding laundry in the guest room, he appeared in the doorway, shirtless, a towel slung low on his hips. He'd just come from the lake. "Need help with that?" he asked, stepping inside. I froze. "It's just towels." "I've got it." He didn't move. "You've always taken care of me," he said, his voice husky. "Let me take care of you now." I should have stopped him, laughed, reminded him of boundaries. Instead, I just stood there as he stepped closer. He reached out, tucked a strand of hair behind my ear, fingers lingering on my cheek. "You're so beautiful," he whispered. You don't even see it, do you? My breath caught. Liam, this isn't right. He smiled, slow, deliberate. Then why does it feel so good? And then he kissed me. It wasn't gentle. It was hungry, insistent, like he'd been waiting years. I should have pulled away. I didn't. My hands found his chest, pulling him closer, even as my mind screamed no. I melted into the kiss, losing myself in its heat, its wrongness, its electric thrill. He pulled back, eyes blazing. Still think I'm just a kid calling you Auntie? And just like that, something inside me snapped. My body was responding faster than my conscience. His question echoed like a dare. My hand slid up his bare chest. He leaned in again, and this time I met him halfway. The kiss deepened, messier, needier. His lips bruised mine, his hands roaming my back, my hips. It felt like madness. I wasn't thinking. In that moment, I was just a woman being touched, desired, seen in a way I hadn't been in years. It wasn't love. It was raw, impulsive, reckless hunger. We didn't even make it to the bed. Clothes hit the floor. Guilt flickered. His mother, the years I'd watched him grow, the line I was crossing. But my body silenced the alarms. His mouth moved over my skin with both familiarity and foreignness. Rough, overwhelming, disorienting. And then, just as I was losing myself completely, he whispered it again, low, smug, right against my ear. Auntie. My breath caught. The word landed like a slap. It was meant to tease, to tempt, to twist the knife. It reminded me of exactly what this was. Wrong, forbidden, irreversible. But instead of stopping me, it made everything burn hotter. He didn't treat me like someone precious. He didn't make love to me. He fucked me like a stranger who had no right. Yet every permission. I'd never been touched like that. Not by my ex-husband, not by any polite dates. Liam wasn't gentle. He wasn't sweet. He was unapologetically dominant, and somehow that shattered something inside me I didn't know was still fragile. When it was over, we lay tangled in silence, the ceiling fan creaking. My body was still humming, but my mind raced. What had I done? He broke the silence first. You okay? I nodded but couldn't look at him. This shouldn't have happened. I know, he said unapologetically, but I don't regret it. That stung. I wanted regret, needed it. But Liam seemed calm, satisfied. You're not a boy anymore, I whispered. He smiled, almost cruelly. I think you figured that out. I turned away. Liam, this isn't just a mistake. It's betrayal. He sat up, unfazed. Of who, my mother? She doesn't own me. And you? You're not blood, you're not even really my aunt. Don't say that, I said sharply. Don't you dare diminish what we were before this. We? He echoed. What are we now then? I didn't answer. There was no word for it. I got up, wrapping a robe around myself, walking to the window. The lake outside was still, mocking. Liam came up behind me, slipping his arms around my waist. You can pretend this was a mistake, he murmured, but your body knows better. I shivered from the truth of it. That night changed everything. How deep does this rabbit hole go? When the forbidden is embraced, can things ever return to normal? If you're grappling with these questions, share your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement helps us all understand these hidden love stories better. The next morning, we barely spoke. Every glance buzzed with unspoken tension. By the time he left the lake house that Sunday evening, we hadn't touched again, but we both knew it wasn't over. Over the next few weeks, things grew more complicated. Liam started texting me late at night, not sweet messages, just reminders. Thinking about you. You tasted like cinnamon. Want more? I ignored them at first, deleted them, told myself he was just being immature. But deep down, I was waiting for them. Every message pulled me deeper. I started looking at the door when he came over to visit his mom, wondering if he'd sneak in a touch, a smirk. Then came the second time at his mother's birthday party. Everyone was there. I was helping clean up, carrying dishes to the kitchen, when I felt a hand slide around my waist in the darkened hallway. Before I could speak, he pressed me against the wall. "No one's looking," he murmured, kissing my neck. I froze. "Liam, stop." He didn't. His hands roamed under my blouse, his mouth finding the soft spot behind my ear. I tried to push him off, but the heat was already rising again, curling in my stomach, making my knees weak. "You missed me," he whispered. I didn't answer, but I didn't stop him either. That night, he followed me home. We didn't even make it to the bedroom. This dangerous path has no clear end in sight. What happens when desire overrules loyalty and societal norms? If this story has captivated you, please ensure you're subscribed to Hidden Love Stories and have notifications turned on. We delve into these true, challenging narratives regularly. Thank you for listening.